The following video contains strong sexual content and is rated M for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'll let you know before you try to go. Now this is my own show. Not a script or flip could make me stop, so just behave. I mean there's no escape. Let's hope you make that drop, because you really don't want to take me off. And oh, what fun. I will tell you what to do and you will get it done. And oh, don't run. You'll find your nightmare here has only just begun. Welcome to my horror show. Now it's starting 3D. Oh, I bet you thought you'd seen the last of me. Are you reading the walls? Did you get my clues? There's a debt to repay for now. You'll do.
Yo, what is up? And welcome to another episode of the Dummies of Horror. This is the most controversial fucking episode that we're going to ever do, so welcome. This is episode 262, and this is a fucking Patreon pick episode. Thanks to Heather Powell.
It's not our fault. We didn't choose this. We didn't want to watch these.
No, especially one of them. We'll get to it. But Heather Powell, that bitch, thank you for her patronage, and she has chosen for us to review Salo, or 120 Days of Sodom. I will admit that
Yeah, and
we decided to up the ante and do a double feature with a Serbian film.
because okay, we did sort of pick it. All right,
We're stupid,
it wasn't
y'all.
all Heather's fault.
No.
We're like, what would pair nicely with this little dish of a movie? This real tasty turd of a film experience.
Gross.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, let's throw some Serbian film into this.
Yeah,
mix.
the most controversial movie ever made.
Yeah,
And probably will be ever made.
I hope.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a rough week for us watching movies, and
Rough week with us. What about that baby? Anyway,
fucking hell. Yeah, so look,
spoilers.
okay, straight up,
Serbian film.
before we do anything else, we need to issue warning right now that this episode here is going to be shocking. We're going to say things.
If you listen to this with your children for some fucking reason, and you're okay with the fucks and cunts and stuff, even this episode probably not the best. You know, don't. It's not a family. Well, it's sort of family, but it's not really a family episode. But sorta.
It's not, and like, and
This isn't a Goosebumps episode.
No. I also want to nail down that
Nice.
we don't agree with anything that happens in either of these films, especially one of them.
Either or, really.
Yeah, well, that's true. But yeah, and we're not going to poo-poo on these films because of the subject matter. We'll get to it later, but I just want to make sure everyone's clear. This is going to be a controversial episode because of the controversial subjects that we're dealing with.
That's covered in these movies.
Yeah. So, be warned that we're going to be talking about some extreme horror. I know going in, you probably already expect it, but yeah, we're covering two of the most controversial movies ever made.
And this isn't quite the chicken sandwich preamble that we normally give you.
Which is weird, yeah. We're usually there fun-loving and talking about shit. No, we're giving you warning.
This is more a eating a shit sandwich kind of episode.
This is two guys from Australia that have no fucking worries dealing with crocodiles and snakes.
Yeah.
We're here giving you warnings. So,
I have to fight 6 crocs on my way to work.
only 6?
I know, I'm in the city.
Anyway, alright, so we've got a star-studded show for you. Thanks a lot, Heather. Heather from the Friday Nightmares podcast. Go give him a list. Her and her co-host, what's his name? I don't know. He has about 20 of them.
No,
Scott
he didn't
Crawford.
really wrestling things.
Yeah. But go give the Friday Nightmares a listen. They're great, great friends of ours. We love them dearly. Heather did want to be on this show, but apparently she's in Europe. I never knew she went to Europe at all, but apparently she's in Europe. So
Doing what? Doing weird solo things?
I don't know, doing French people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I watched Salo last night and I messaged her and she's like, that's funny, I'm in France. And I'm like, I don't get the connection. And then I realized that the book was written by a Frenchman.
Oui. And poo-poo.
Yeah. Anyway, all right.
Wait, did you sit down to dinner? Anyway, later.
Do you know, no, I'll tell you right now. Do you know, okay, going into Solo, I knew nothing about the movie. Nothing. Absolutely fuck all about Solo. And I was sitting in my bed with my laptop, ready to watch this movie, and I got about 40 minutes into the movie, and my wife goes, oh, do you want some dessert? I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking starving.
Oh my God,
so she brought me... No, she brought me chocolate pudding. And so I was eating that chocolate pudding when the scene happened. I shit you not. And to anyone that...
So
I couldn't have been more perfect. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? I never have dessert, ever. But my wife brought me protein pudding because I'm all about health
Yum, yeah,
foods
get that
now.
protein in, yo.
It was actually really nice, but I couldn't finish it because of a certain scene that I was watching.
Did you... Oh, I'll save it for but I want to know. Because I feel like you might have.
Did I what?
Did you fucking vom? Nah, did you come, bro? Nah, did you fucking vom, dude?
I didn't. I dry reached. I felt the rumbles in the tummy because I'm like, this
I can hear it because it's one of my favorite things to do to you. But
do you know what stopped me from actual vomiting?
You? What?
I knew it wasn't real poo.
Yeah, because there's no way.
No, I'm like, okay, I know this is a film. There is no way this filmmaker, as sick as he might be, is forcing these actors to eat real human feces. There's no way.
Yeah.
And then I searched it up.
Spoilers for 120 Days of Summer.
Oh, dude, we're going to spoil the shit out of it. It's a fucking movie that's almost 50 years old. If you haven't seen it right now, if you haven't seen it, you were going to be like me and never have to see it, or you just don't care about spoilers. So
yeah, I mean, it's not a movie you have to watch.
Well, according to Heather, it is something that all horror fans must watch. And I'm like, no, why? I would have been perfectly happy without having watched this movie. And she's like, yeah, but now you're like a premium podcaster like myself.
That's a spot-on Canadian accent, by the way.
It's all about the premium podcaster. And then she said something in French. I don't know what she was talking about. Anyway, look. We'll get to these movies in a bit. We've got the usual shit things to do. I keep saying shit. There's a reason for it.
It's like a circle of shit.
All right, let's get on to the show. We have questions of the week. We have movies to talk about. Oh, dude, I watched a fucking movie. We'll get to that soon.
Okay.
But let's start the show off with question of the week.
Question of the week.
Alright, question of the week from last time was, which animal would be the worst to come face to face with? So we have a few replies here. We'll start off with Jay Talbot. She says, ooh, I'm a fan of a doco called I Shouldn't Be Alive. One was a couple walking somewhere in America and the guy was scalped by a black bear.
Oh.
Fuck. Number 2 was a family in South Africa whose boat was upturned by
hippopotamuses?
Hippopotamus?
Why you give people the easy one?
It's because she wrote hippopotamus. So I fucked up.
Hip hop. Dude, that was one of those fucking scenes that I used to rewind over and over again.
It's like that other scene in Waterboy when he throws something out the window and it hits the colonel and he makes that noise. That fucking scene I rewound so much. Fuck you! You give him all the easy ones.
Do you remember when Adam Sandler was good?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Now
Anyway.
he's doing Hubie Halloween. Alright. Upturned by a hippopotamus. Fun times for other people. My own fear, though, is just unleashed dogs while I'm walking my golden retriever. Broke my elbow and thumb when my dog was attacked and brought me down while she was trying to get away. Got you beat, Heather. Yours only got disconnected? Dislocated, I'm guessing she means.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, sucked in, Heather. Pat Yee says, a Texas rattlesnake. I like that. Zimvader says, mosquito. It's such a cunt. Yeah.
It is a cunt. Yeah.
He
It is
says,
a cunt.
unless you mean from a movie, in that case, it's the big bad wolf. I mean in real life, so whatever. Beedramine says, a crocodile. No question. That's fair. Mm-hmm. Marcy Papandrea says, a shark on cocaine.
Is that a movie? Is Cocaine Shark a movie?
Yes, there is a movie called Cocaine Shark.
Nice.
Because of, Cocaine Bear, there's like Cocaine Cougar as well, which according to Scott Crawford
I've met her.
is... That was funny.
Thank you.
Scott Crawford says grizzly bear or a wolverine. Yeah.
What do you want, bub?
Alan Cha-Cha says Tim Davis. I've heard he's a real beast when he gets angry. Well, yes, I am for you, Alan. Rah.
Wow. Wow.
Robert Hungy says tough choice between a Sasquatch, Chupacabra, or a Yeti. Rob, we meant like real animals, like real things. I don't know. Who am I to say that Sasquatch isn't real? He might be.
Exactly.
My dad just put a face of like a confused emoji, so I assume he's just looking at a wall. Lance Langford said snakes, fucking snakes. Yep. And probably my favourite comment comes from Alison May Ferguson, who says a small child. That is correct.
That is correct.
Yeah, I'm just fucking hitting Adam Sandler quotes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun. All
We're
right.
trying to get ready for later.
We are. We got to think of funny things.
Let's talk about this, and then we're doing Sandler cast next week.
Jesus.
Dummies for Sandler.
All right. Question for this week is, this one actually came to us from one of our listeners, Samantha Day. She asked me this a while back, and I thought it was actually a really interesting question. The question is, what horror movie now, that you watch now, is completely justified for what happens? So, for example, you're watching a movie back in the day, and someone's killing someone, but you watch it now with 2024 glasses on, you're like, I understand why that person's being murdered. For example, Friday the 13th, the original one. Mrs. Voorhees kills all the kids for not watching her son. You get it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it.
So what horror movie is completely justified for what happens?
Oh.
There are a few out there. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Those kids shouldn't have been walking on his property.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's get off my lawn. But he says it with
think.
a chainsaw. Yeah, it's
Anaconda, he a hungry boy.
yeah. Fair.
Honestly, any animal attack movie, to be real,
Yeah,
because
Yeah,
they're
that's true.
they're just hungry.
they're just animals. Yeah.
Yeah, they're either defending themselves or they're hungry. No animal's like trying to get revenge on a family.
Yeah. I mean, you could say some of the Saw movies as well. Like, some of those people were scum, and, like, he gave them a chance to survive.
Yeah, they're all kind of assholes at the start.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. Interesting question. Might be hard to think about. It's a thinking question. But one that I want to hear the answers on. So,
Yeah.
that's that.
Answers better than our ones.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we have some movies to talk about that we saw this week with our segment called What Horrors Have You Done?
I haven't done any harrows.
What horrors have you done?
So what horrors have we done? We're going to fucking tell you. And Mushroom's going to go first.
Sure. My first horrors I've got is Amelia's Children.
Oh, okay.
When Edward's search for his biological family leads him and his girlfriend Riley to a magnificent villa high in the mountains of northern Portugal. He is full of excitement at meeting his long-lost mother and twin brother. Finally, he will discover who he is and where he comes from. But nothing is as it seems, and Edward will soon learn that he is linked to them by a monstrous secret.
Yep, that sounds like the movie.
This is okay. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it was okay. It was nothing particularly special. It was kind of weird. The mum looked, honestly, like anyone who's had too much surgery. Just like a Hollywood celebrity.
Yeah. Yeah.
It had some weird bits, but ultimately, like, I was like, I really hope this movie comes back to me when I'm reading it, because I watched it yesterday. I cannot remember anything about it, almost.
Yeah, I understand.
It's a middle of the road movie. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't that good. There were some cool bits. There were some gory bits. Half the time I was just like, just leave. Why are you leaving? Just leave this place.
But it's his familiar.
Oh, not my family. And then, yeah, like twists and turns and whatnot. And it was fine.
What did you give it out of 10?
I gave it a 6 out of 10. It was kind of sitting at a 5, and I sort of liked the ending. It got a little bit hectic, and I was like, okay, you can have a 6.
Yeah, I think I was pretty much same with you there.
Yeah.
It was, fine.
It was fine. This is fine. This could have been a 5, but I was like, it was okay. It was okayer than a 5, only slightly.
Yeah, not fair. So that's Amelia's Children. Alright. First one I've got is a new werewolf movie called Blackout. This is directed by Larry Fessenden. You know the guy. Probably not by name, but yeah, he's been in the independent horror scene for a long time. As an actor and director, this is his directing credit. So the story is, small-town artist Charlie is a tortured man whose drinking binges blur with his sneaking suspicion that he might be a werewolf. He distances himself from those he loves and sinks deeper into solitude as his flashes of memory of his grisly nightmare acts manifest themselves throughout his artwork.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be straight up and honest with you. I want to rewatch this movie. At first glance, it has many flaws. The story does drag a bit, acting isn't perfect, and the werewolf doesn't look as incredible as I wanted. This is more of a Wolfman type werewolf. I'll give it credit because it is actually a werewolf and not just a person with a bit of fur on their cheek and pointy ears. So you do actually get like an actual creature design here, which is cool.
Okay. I mean, like, that's like half your werewolf movie scores.
Yeah, exactly. So plus for that, this is more of a drama than a werewolf movie. It features more drama scenes than it does horror scenes.
Okay.
So by first glance, I'm like, it's a miss. But this film is stacked with charm, and by the end of it, I really appreciated the story that was being told, and I found myself really enjoying these characters. The werewolf look grew on me, and the heartfelt journey it gave on us, I kind of finished the movie with the thought that I wanted more. It's not perfect, but for a low-budget film, it's pretty darn good. So I gave it a 7. But I do want to rewatch it before the end of the year.
Okay. Sounds cool.
That's Blackout from 2024.
The next one I watched was Camp Pleasant Lake. from 2024.
All right. Haven't heard this one.
A couple breathed life into a new camp on an old campsite, connecting them to a chilling past, and unravels a 20-year-old mystery involving a missing young girl. As eerie events unfold, they must confront forces tied to a brutal crime.
Bom bom.
Bum bum. You know what? There was no lake in the entire movie.
Really?
Yeah, thinking about it, like no lake was involved. I'm looking at it and I'm looking at the cover and I'm like, where was this lake? It was just called Camp Pleasant Lakes, but it looked like they were just in a big open ground.
Okay.
It's a bad movie. It's a low budget movie. It's not great. The masks are sort of cool. But otherwise, it was one of those movies where I was like, everybody has such bad dialogue, and everybody is such a bad actor that I actually started getting some yucks from it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it crossed over into, like, not unwatchable territory.
Yeah, okay.
Because the whole premise of this is, like, there was an incident that happened here, whatever million years ago. No, not million years ago, but, like, before. Mm. And then they, like, the new owners buy this camp, and then they set up, like, a horror camp experience. And then the real killers come out and fucking start killing them.
Okay, so generic slasher.
Pretty much. But everyone's like, like that kind of shit.
Okay.
When, like, people are getting murdered and they're like, oh, they'll kill me.
I get you.
But yeah, it's bad, but I got some yucks out of it, so I'm gonna give it a 5. But yeah, look, I mean, don't run out of your way to see this fucking movie, but it's a 2024 movie, so tick.
Fair enough, then. Look at you just killing 2024.
Ripping it up.
Alright. What was that one called?
Camp Pleasant Lake.
Okay.
It's influenced by what you think it's influenced by, but
yeah.
There's a lot of, like, rubbing a knife with red paint on some shit.
Yeah,
like
okay.
that kind of movie.
Yeah, I get you. Okay. Alright, the next one I got a chance to watch is a movie called You'll Never Find Me. The story of this is Patrick, a strange and lonely resident, lives in a mobile home at the back of an isolated caravan park. After a violent thunderstorm erupts, a mysterious young woman appears at his door, seeking shelter from the weather. The longer the night wears on, and the more the young woman discovers about Patrick, the more difficult she finds it to leave. Soon she begins to question Patrick's intentions, while Patrick begins to question his own grip on reality. Okay, this was a well-made movie.
Yeah.
Really well acted, but it is a slow burn. A really slow burn. A really character-heavy film. And nothing really happens until right at the main act, and I'm sorry to say it just didn't hold my attention. And by the end, I'm just like, okay, cool. I can't say much more about it because, I don't know. I watched this straight after a movie that I'll bring up in a second, which I loved. So my mind was distracted, but I just wasn't really into this movie. I gave it a 5 out of 10.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So that's You'll Never Find Me. Alright, you're next.
Find me. My next is apparently from 2022, but it's another 2024 movie. Midnight Peep Show.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, so did I. Thought that. An unnamed madame operates a unique peep show that caters... Sorry, got a bit loud in here. That caters to its customers' deepest desires, fears, and sins. Tonight, it welcomes a businesswoman with a unique connection to an extreme fantasy website. Soon he will become a witness to 3 stories of victims that found the website. It's only a matter of time before he's made to pay the ultimate price for dabbling in the dark side of desire.
Ooh.
So, like, it's a horny movie, obviously, right?
Are there boobies in it?
But there's no boobies in it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No. There's
I'm not
no
watching this.
boobies in this horny movie. Right? And that is my biggest fucking issue with it. Otherwise, it's a pretty fucking, regular, substandard, twisted,
Generic
horny
movie.
B movie that was filmed bad with bad actors, etc., etc. But there wasn't even, like, titties in it. There's a bit of a chainsaw scene at the end and some other fucked up shit. But, like, there's no titties in it. And I'm like, why are we just, like, it's obviously a horny movie.
Yeah.
Why can't we see the horny things?
You know what's crazy, man?
I don't understand it. Like, you're, like, fucking cutting people up. And, like, it's supposed to be, like... Sorry. I'm just, like, the climax of the fucking movie shat me so much. Because I'm just, like... The whole thing is, like, they're live streaming all this shit to people.
Yeah.
Right? And so people are paying to see people in their, like, lingerie and shit all the time?
Yeah.
Like, the whole movie is about fucking. And there's no titties. And there's barely any butts. It's just chicks in their underwear, sis.
Okay.
Like, why? I don't know, man. It's just like 2024 shits me sometimes.
You know what's fucking crazy, man? Like, me and Jill are doing our other show called Devour the 80s. Shout out to that show.
There's probably titties in, like, Garfield back then.
Dude, we've watched, I think, 12... I think it was 8. Sorry, 8 movies from 1980. And there's only one movie that didn't have titties, and that was a kid's movie. Every single one has had titties in it.
Because titties are great, and they're adult, and it's okay to look at them. You want equality? Just throw some dongs in there too.
Yeah.
Don't take away I'm seeing more dicks than I am titties.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Like,
Which is fine, whatever, but...
It's fine, but, like, bring them back.
Yeah.
Bring them back. Anyway, so I gave this shit a 3.
Harvey Weinstein fucked this shit up for us.
I was like, why have a horny movie that's not horny? Mm-hmm. Like, there was even bits where it was like, just the camera was cut around where there was titties.
Oh, Christ.
It just annoyed me, because I'm like, I like a horny, fucked up good time. And we'll get to that later. But, like, what's the point if you censor it all?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what are you really expressing then? It's like, are you trying to say something about, like, horny shit and kink shit and, like, stuff like that if you're just going to censor it? Like, anyway.
I getcha.
3 out of 10. It annoyed me. It was one of those movies where it's not like a 3 out of 10 made movie. It's fine, but it just the premise doesn't mix with the end product.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. What's that one called? Midnight Peep Show?
Yeah.
You're calling your movie Peep Show, but...
I know. There's... If you watch it, I'll tell you. I don't know if you are or not, but I'll spoil it with you. But yeah, like, just yeah.
Don't spoil it, but I'll see if I come across it. Maybe
I'm gonna do another one real quick because it's also just another crappy one.
Yep.
2024, they turned us into killers.
Okay.
A girl is drugged and assaulted by her boyfriend before taking her own life. Determined to seek revenge, her best friend hunts down those responsible. Your basic fucking revenge movie.
Did we review the trailer for this? That sounds familiar.
Maybe? It's pretty bad, if we did.
Okay. What's bad about it?
It's just shot bad, acted bad,
Okay.
story's dumb, everyone's stupid. It's one of those movies where it's like, it's like, if you've never done drugs before, this is what drugs look like. It feels like it was done by Christians or something.
Okay. Say
It's-
no
it's
more.
It's that shit where they're like the chick who's drugged is like addicted to drugs and shit, and she's like using a knife to do bumps, but it's such a big knife.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? And she's getting heaps of it and just like putting it up in her face.
Right.
Or like they're like putting out like a shit ton on their wrist, like on their hand. And
Yeah.
going and shit like that, and I'm like, you're wasting so much drugs. Just get a fucking plate and a straw. So it's like one of those like, oh, look at all these bad people doing drugs, and of course they're into drugs, and made her kill herself, and then we revenge murdered them. It's just bad. It was just boring. I barely watched it properly. It was so boring.
Yeah, okay.
I'm giving this one a 4, but I don't even
Alright.
think it deserves a 4. I'm giving it a 3. It's dumb.
Okay. So I'll probably won't bother.
You don't have to. You're not going to get anything from this.
Yeah, okay. Alright, well...
These are, at best, it's going to be an okay movie.
Okay, so middle of the list of the year.
I think so.
Okay. What's that called? They might be killers?
They turned us into killers.
They turned
All
us
right,
into
put it
killers.
this
Okay.
way: there's no 10s, no 9s. There's 1 8, 1 7, 3 6s, 3 5s, 8 4s, 16 3s, 42s, and 44 1s.
Wow, okay. Alright, so majority rules.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's if you want to watch it just to like watch everything we're watching together sort of thing, sure.
Yep.
But honestly, it's a waste of time.
Okay. Alright, well, let's continue the trend of bad movies.
Sure.
Because I watched a movie that I was excited for, and turns out it's not. This movie is called Something in the Water. Yep.
Oh.
It's the newest shark movie. So, reunited at an exotic destination wedding, 5 girlfriends decided to rent a boat to spend a day together along the paradise-like coast. I'm not even going to tell you what the rest happens. Because this is a shark movie. And it's just another cliched, predictable shark movie. And I was watching this and I'm like, have I seen this before? Turns out no, because it literally just came out like this week. It's just the exact same story as every other shark movie that's come out in the last 5 years. Like,
Sounds
these
fantastic.
girls, like it starts exactly the same. These 5 girlfriends, right? One of them's getting married in like somewhere, in like an island resort, right? So they all make a trip to go there, and the first half of the movie is the girlfriends getting together, talking about how much fun they had doing this back last year. And then it cuts to them at a bar. They're getting drunk and they're dancing. And I'm like, okay, cliched setup. And then the next day they're all hungover except one girl who's like, I rented a boat. Let's go out in the water. So they do. And then something happens to the boat. And they're stranded out in the water. And there's a shark.
You know what sucks? I have to watch this.
You don't have to. You really
No,
don't.
I fucking have to. God damn it, I fucking have to.
That's up to you, dude. It's such a cliched, predictable shark film. Like, you know who's gonna die. You know who's gonna survive. The problem with this is, like, you see the shark, but barely. Like, you see fins, and I noticed one of the fins was fucking not even, like you could see the cutout on it. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, it's not it's not like a CGI fuckfest at all.
Yeah.
Like, the shark effects, they don't look incredible, but they're not horrible. It was just a run-of-the-mill fucking story, and I'm so tired of it. This is coming from someone who loves shark movies. Every time a new shark movie comes out, I have to watch it. And I'm just sick of it now. I gave this a 3 out of 10.
Ooh.
And I shouldn't, because it's not that bad of a movie. It's just I'm sick of this fucking run-of-the-mill story. that I'm just like, fuck off. Nah, I'm done. So Something in the Water, dude, give it a miss. It will honestly do nothing for you.
I would love to, but I cannot.
Alright.
Here's another one that you can miss. My last two, real quick.
What is hitting it?
So, do you know Jimmy Buffett?
Yeah.
Well, you'll probably like this movie more than me.
Okay.
Although I doubt it, because motherfucker looked like it was filmed on iPhones. Anyway, Murderita from 2024.
I saw this advertised.
Get ready for a chilling ride through paradise. A group of trop rock fanatics on their way to an impersonator contest start getting killed off by a parrot man in a tasteful floral shirt.
Okay.
I don't really know Jimmy Buffett shit that well. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
It looked like it was filmed on an iPhone. It was just bad. Like, it knew it was bad. Like, it wasn't like, pasta raptor, like, bad.
Yeah.
It was just, it looked like a college student movie that they just made for fun.
Okay.
And it was just shit. It was just awful. Like, the writing was bad. They couldn't act. None of it was good. It was literally just, it's a werewolf movie, but instead of being a werewolf, he just gets a parrot head.
Does it look good at least?
No, it looks terrible. Like, it looks shitty. Like, it's face paint. Like, it's children's face paint. Like a weird wig.
Okay. Sounds amazing.
It's not even an hour. Well, it's like 50 minutes long. It's just not funny. They think it's funny. But it's not funny. 2 out of 10. I don't like this one. This is probably
Wow.
Midnight Peep Show pissed me off. Pissed me off the most. But this was just the worst. It was just a crappy movie.
Okay.
And I've got one more that's the actual only good one I watched.
Okay. You do it first, because I don't think it's going to beat the one good one that I have.
No, I don't think so either. If I know what it is. All right. So I didn't think this was horror, but apparently it is.
Okay.
So this is Love Lies Bleeding.
Oh, okay.
So reclusive gym manager Lou falls hard for Jackie, an ambitious bodybuilder headed through town to Las Vegas in pursuit of her dream. But their love ignites violence, pulling them deep into the web of Lou's criminal family.
Right.
I think you should watch this. I don't want to spoil too much. It's really good, and it's actually got titties in it.
Oh, that exists?
Yeah. It had to be a movie about lesbians, though.
Okay. Of course.
So,
That's fine. I'll take it however I
so
can
there's
get it.
that. But this is actually really good. I really don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay.
I think watch it. I'm giving it an 8. It's a 7.5. Like it's a 7 plus 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 plus.
Oh, okay.
Or a low 8. I think it can have an 8. I actually really, thinking back on it, I quite liked it. Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but
So
I think you should watch it.
It is horror?
It is ish.
Okay.
Ish. Like, it's...
Alright. Look,
Oh,
either
it's
way,
so
you're saying
close.
it's good. You're saying it's good, so I'll give it a go.
I think it's worth a watch.
Alright. What's it called? Love Lies Bleeding?
Yeah. Yeah,
Right
it's
on.
it's got some cool shit. It's fucking packed full of 80s. It's got like a bunch of steroids in it. It's fucking mad.
Okay. I'll definitely check it out. That's all you got, eh?
That's it for me.
Okay.
That's all. That's all my 6 movies. that I watched entirely yesterday.
Jesus Christ, you poor thing.
Plus the other ones.
Oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
Alright, well, here I go. My last one here. And this is not a 2024 movie. In fact, let's travel back to the year 2023, last year. I said I was going to do it when it finally came out. Godzilla Minus One. It's now available on VOD. I checked it out, and I said I was going to watch it because this was the fans' number one pick of last year, and I wanted to see where it would fit on my list. Would it make the top 10? Would I not care for it? I heard so much hype about this movie. Going into this, I was really worried that the hype machine was going to fuck it up for me. I sat there and watched this with my son, which is crazy because my son has the attention span of he
your
does
son.
not. Yeah, he has no attention span. He literally doesn't, and he sat there and watched this movie from start to finish with me, with his mouth wide open. He had no idea what was being said, but he loved watching Godzilla. I love this movie. This movie is fucking fantastic. Holy shit, man. Holy shit, this movie is so good. I loved every bit of it. I really did. I was floored by it. And I am not a massive Godzilla fan. In fact,
You're not.
as I was thinking about it, I've never seen the original Godzilla. I've never seen any Japanese Godzilla except Godzilla vs. Kong. This is my first real look at Japanese Godzilla.
Yep.
And I need to go back and watch some goddamn Godzilla movies because this was fucking incredible.
You can check out Shin Godzilla too.
Yeah, I heard that was decent. But this, man, you said it, you care about the characters. Man,
Yeah.
that's an understatement.
Right.
There were times where it would play the human character's part with playing, and then it would cut to the Godzilla story, and I was like, I kind of want to go back to the character story.
Yup.
Which doesn't happen.
No.
You're there to see Godzilla, not these people, but fuck, I was invested with these characters. Dude, I'm going to say something right now that's going to shock people. Watching this movie gave me the same feeling I had when I watched Jaws for the first time.
I fucking feel you, dude. I feel you.
I was just this is very similar to Jaws as well, I felt.
Yeah, 100%.
Obviously scenes similar, but the whole movie, how it's structured, how it's an adventure film mixed with horror scenes in it.
Keep in
maybe
mind,
that's why.
I saw this at the fucking IMAX, dude.
And I fucking hate you for it. I was kicking myself. I should have. How was it at the IMAX?
A little bit shitty because we're right at the front, but everything else, when he fucking does the beam,
Yeah.
I'm like, gah! It's fucking, you feel he's destroying things.
Yeah.
Whereas, as much as I love the, USA Godzilla, Fat Godzilla, he's just kind of a mascot. He, destroys shit, yeah, whatever, but, it's not as in this. It's devastating. He feels like an atom bomb.
Yeah, and he's scary in this. Where you're right. The American ones, he's more of a mascot. In this, he's absolutely terrifying.
I think when I originally reviewed it, I was fucking scared.
Wow.
This is the first time I've been oh, Godzilla's scary, and not yeah, Godzilla smash some shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, Godzilla's a devastating force. I'm like, I get it now. Because, the whole thing with Godzilla is he is a monsterized atom bomb.
Yeah,
He is
exactly.
the devastation Japan went through at the hands of the US, which is so hilarious that they bought him. If you think about it, really.
That is
we were
funny.
hey, that's cool. We want a big monster too. We'll make him fat. We'll make him fight our monkey.
Very true.
But yeah, what a fucking I want to watch it again. But yeah, I'm so happy you watched it, dude. This is why
Yeah.
I was like, man, if you can get to see it. Remember last year I was like, please try and get to see it, and it just didn't happen. But
Yeah. This was this your number one?
if not, then pretty close to.
I can't remember your number one movie of last year, but I have a
I
feeling.
feel like it was.
Yeah, I think it was. Anyway, so to answer everyone's question, would this have been on my top 10? Yes. Yes, it would have been on my top 10.
It was number 2. Talk to Me was number 1.
Okay. That makes more sense. To answer everyone's question, this is in my top 10 of 2023. I'm changing my 2023 a little bit, and for the first time ever, my number 1 of 2023 is a film I watched in 2024. Godzilla Minus One is my number 1 movie of 2023.
Nice, dude.
I thought about it for a while, and I'm like, dude, like, this is one that I will buy on 4K when it comes out.
Yeah, because this one wasn't like a, oh, I like it because it's appealing to me, and whereas like I don't think Tim will get it movie. I was just like, this is just a universally fucking great movie.
Yeah. And how they tease a sequel at the end. I had to search up what some things meant.
Yeah.
And then I got the answer straight from the director's mouth. And now I'm like, okay, I'm not missing the sequel at the cinemas.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Dude, fuck me. And you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? The sequel's going to suck.
No, don't do that.
Because I'm going to go see it. I'll be like, oh, I'm going to go. First day it opens. And it will suck. And I'll be like, that's fucking... It's my fault, isn't it?
Boo.
So, yeah, dude. I did a review of Godzilla Minus One on Patreon on the Super Fun Happy Magical Explosion show. I did a review with my son.
Yeah.
My 6-year-old son. He spoke about it too.
Excellent.
So if you're on Patreon, go and check it out. If you're not, join and you can hear our full thoughts.
Join. It's only $100.
It's not.
Oh, sorry. It's a different thing. Sorry, my bad.
Anyway, yeah. So Godzilla Minus One, I recommend everyone check it out.
Me too.
And that's it for What Horrors Have We Done? So, yep. It comes to that time.
I don't
want to do it anymore. No, we have to. Heather's making us, so it's fucking Heather's fault.
Oh, what's that? Dip. Ugh.
Yeah. Let's just do it. Rip off the Band-Aid. Feature presentation.
And now for our feature presentation.
Talking about 2 of the most controversial movies ever made. Yep, we're doing it. And it's Heather Powell's fault. She's making us do both these movies. I'm just blaming her for both of them now. So should everyone. So if you are outraged that we're reviewing both these movies, then speak to Heather Powell from the Friday Nightmares podcast. So speaking of Heather, she wrote us a little message. And she wants me to read this on the air, okay? So I'm going to read it. And I quote, Tim and Daniel, thank you for putting up with Saulo. I did it because while Tim is a meanie to me, Daniel, I am sorry you got pulled into it. She calls you Daniel, that's cute. His name's Mushroom.
Fuck off. I knew you'd like it if I got mad at it.
In terms of why I selected this movie, while I thought it was one of the weirdest and gross movies I ever sat through, and I thought to myself, who else can I put through it? All that aside, it is considered a horror classic by some for one reason or another. I believe it's supposed to be a political statement movie, oppression of the lower class and such, but I'm sure you can find a resource on that. Either way, it is good to talk about negatively or positively. I look forward to hearing the discussion, and now you can say, have you seen Salo? Oh no. Well, it's fucked up, and I'm a professional and serious horror fan because I have watched it. So, Heather, I'm a professional and serious horror fan because I did watch Salo. So thank you so much. So, we'll start with Salo, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright. This fucking movie. Salo, or The 121 Days of Sodom, from 1975. This comes to a 5.8 out of 10 rating on IMDb, and the story is, if you don't know the story, this is the story according to IMDb. In World War II Italy, 4 fascist libertines round up 9 adolescent boys and girls and subject them to 120 days of physical, mental, and sexual torture. It's directed by Pier Paolo Pasolini, who... Do you know he died, before this movie was released?
Really?
Yeah. Let me just find the trivia here. Yeah, the director was murdered before the film's release. A 17-year-old hustler, Giuseppe Pino Pelosi...
Oh, it's Giuseppe Pino, must he have you?
He was arrested when he was found with the director's car. He admitted running over Pasolini several times with the car after an argument and ended up convicted of the crime. Many years later, he denied participating in it, claiming that 3 mysterious men were involved. The case remains unsolved.
I had no do this.
So yeah, he died before this movie fucking came out. Pretty crazy,
Could Giuseppe drive a car?
He's gonna do that all way now.
Maybe Giuseppe come back later.
Jeez. Alright, so...
Bye.
This... Okay. Continue.
No, you just said bye.
Okay. So you've seen
Ciao.
Salo before.
See.
And I haven't. And I've seen a Serbian film before, and you haven't.
I have not.
So how about I go first on Salo, and you go first on Serbian?
Sure.
Cool. Alright, so... My thoughts on Salo. Here we go. First time ever watching it, not knowing anything about this movie before going in. I knew it was controversial. That's basically all I knew. What even the fuck was this movie? Dude, this movie is just fucking stupid and pointless. I don't understand how people could like this film. It's beyond gross. It's strange, and to be brutally fucking honest with you, I found it boring as fuck. It's so fucking repetitive. Like, these stories that the women speak are about the same shit. Then someone gets touched somewhere, and then, oh look, poop, eat my poop, and then we'll all eat poop for dinner. Ha 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 ha. These men, these fascists, are fucking weak assholes who just do random things like dress as women and then dance for no reason. Dude, that fucking president guy, I wanted to bash the fuck out of him.
Is he the cross-eyed dude?
Yes, I hated him so much. Mainly because of the way he looked. With his fucking paper-thin hair and his stupid cross-eye look. And he's like, ooh, fuck me in the ass. Fuck me in the ass. Do me next. What the fuck am I... What is this movie? I hate this movie. I fucking hate this movie. This was the most pointless fucking experience I've ever sat through. I hated each and every scene. I hated each character. I found no joy whatsoever in this movie. This movie goes for 2 hours and 2 minutes.
It's a long
It felt
movie.
like 24 hours to me. I fucking despise this movie.
10
I
out of
really
10.
do. Oh, dude. There was nothing enjoyable at all. At all. I don't get... I understand. I have reasons as to what the message of this movie is about. But... Okay, I'll just say it now. What did I take from this movie? This is about the story of the rich and powerful that fuck the underprivileged and make us eat shit. And if we disobey the rules, we are doomed.
Yeah.
Is that what this movie's about?
Pretty much.
Okay. Have you ever seen The Platform? That's a much better movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, this is... Well, are you... Sorry, I don't want to interrupt yours.
No, I will run off you. I'm
Sure.
mad.
That's all right. So I watched this before because I've always had a penchant for fucked up movies, and it's been on my list for a while, and I finally got a hold of a copy, and I watched it. And yeah, I mean, basically, it's fascism bad, right? Like it's just it's about how quickly you can break people down into doing things they thought they'd never be able to do, into suffering abuses they thought they'd never be able to take, and into making them fucking smile while they do it. Right? It's like... But I agree. Did it need to be so drawn out? Did it need to be so, like... But even then, not a lot happens.
Exactly. Like, I was telling my wife that, and I said I was fucking bored during it. And she's like, even with all that stuff happening? I'm like, yes, because it was repetitive.
Like, the stuff that happens is fucked up, but it's like... You know, when like normally when there's a rape in a movie, it's the climax of the trauma and the abuse, and it leads to something. Where it's just like, oh, that chick's getting raped again.
Yeah.
And then maybe that's what they're trying to do. Maybe that's what they're trying to say is like, you know, you get desensitized to it and shit. But it's always just like, it's just all that happens in this fucking movie.
Yeah. And like, there's women that are telling the stories. Like, the stories are done. They're different stories, but they're all pretty much the same. Like, the one lady saying, oh, and he opened up my asshole and ate my asshole and then came on my face. I'm like...
When they're just telling the story. Yeah.
And they're so proud of it. I'm like, you were 9 years old when you were getting ass fucked by some 50-year-old and you're proud of it?
Yeah, well, it's just, like, you don't know if these stories are true or not, or, like, I don't know.
Like, what do the stories have to do with anything? I was so... Every time they sat down and listened to an old lady, I was just like, oh, not again. Shut up.
I think it's supposed to... Again, getting all fucking, like, film schooly. But, like, it's supposed to represent, like, indoctrination. Okay. And desensitization. So it's like, they're... explaining it to them, and then they're putting them through it, and then they're pushing it further the next level.
I don't need a movie about that.
But that's but yeah, it does go for fucking forever.
I honestly believe that, and like, there's people that are going to disagree with me. I understand, but I honestly believe that there are things in the world that don't need to be made into a movie.
Sure.
Like, does anyone walk away from this movie and go, wow, what a riveting experience. I really feel I learnt something about the world while watching this movie.
There's definitely fucking some people that do. This movie has a lot of tens.
Yeah, I do not get why people enjoy this film.
In fact, it's got double the amount of tens than it does 1 stars.
Well, I better put my fucking 1 star on there. I'm not giving it a 1 star. I'll say that. But it's not a 10. For sure. It's closer to a 1 than it is a 10. I disliked... I hated this movie. I really did. I fucking hated the experience that I had with this movie. I despise things that happen in this movie. I've said it many times on this podcast and other podcasts that I just don't like rape movies.
Oh, yeah, fair.
They do nothing for me. I just find them like disgusting. And I'm like, why do I have to watch this? I don't care. And honestly, if it wasn't for Heather, I never would have sat through this movie.
Yeah.
Even if someone goes, oh, you have to become a premium podcaster, I said, well, go listen to the Friday Nightmares podcast because they're clearly more premium than we are.
I don't know how, like, triggering this would be to someone who has actually, like, been through shit like this, right?
Probably really triggering.
Like, it just... I'll be real, right? It felt like somebody just made it to come to.
Yeah.
Did you get that vibe? Right? Like,
yeah.
Well, it was just like, I feel like he was just doing it because he fucking quit.
Yep.
Pretty much. He wasn't clever with the shots. He wasn't, like... artsy or anything. He just fucking showed whatever he felt like shooting.
Yeah. I've been spewing a lot about my bullshit. I just forgot that you haven't said your opinion on this movie. I don't even know if you like this movie, so...
I don't know. Like, I normally do like a fucked up movie, right? Like...
But dude, there's fucked up.
But
There's just gross and dumb for the sake of gross and dumb.
Yeah, but I don't know if this is fucked up. Like, it's fucked up. Don't get me wrong. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
But, like, it's not shown as fucked up. Does that make sense? Like, from what I remember it being really kind of boring and sterile.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like an instructional video more than anything. Does that make sense?
This is how you eat poo.
Yeah.
Why?
Like, it felt like they were trying to teach us something.
Yeah.
And I just... Yeah, I get it. Fascism bad, for sure. But, like... I just... Yeah.
Once again, I don't need a movie about fascism bad.
Like... Maybe it... Maybe there's... Like, I think, of course, there's going to be some people that get some sort of deeper meaning, and this is all representative and this, and fucking metaphors and whatever other bullshit. But, like, I don't know, dude. It just felt like kinky torture porn to me.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same. Like, I have so many questions. Like, I'm sure there's deeper meanings into why these fucking men decided to dress like women in that one scene.
I don't know.
Like, what was the marriage scene representing?
I don't know. Like, maybe I'm not smart enough to get this movie properly, and, like, when I watched it, I was like, I feel like I've seen worse in, like, fucked upness.
Yeah.
Like, where it was like, they were actually filming it to be, like, traumatic for the watcher.
Yeah.
Like, and we'll get to that. Like, and for it to be shocking, but this felt like they were filming it to be like, oh no, this is kind of just what happens here.
Yeah. Pretty much.
It never felt like the camera was protesting anything that happened. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I get you.
Like, yes, the victims were screaming about it and stuff, but I never got that anybody else making the movie felt bad for the victims.
According to IMDb trivia...
It felt like we were just watching it happen.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, it did. It felt like that this is something that happens, like, in real life.
Yeah.
And we're just meant to be like, oh, yeah, okay, that's what happens.
Or the director just filmed his fucking fantasy or something. Shit.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, Heather wanted me to dig deep and speak about the book that this came from. Heather's bossy.
So
she always
read
says,
the
like,
book?
No, I did. Yeah. Heather's very bossy. She's like, do this, do that, la 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 la.
She's a bit of a fascist herself.
Yeah. So I did some deep digging, and this novel was written by Marcus de Sade, and the novel only survives in draft form. Its introduction and first part were written according to Sade's detailed plan, but the subsequent 3 parts are mostly in form of notes. Sade wrote this in secrecy while imprisoned in Bastille.
In the Bastille?
And then some war broke out, and he was moved, and he didn't take the fucking novel with him. And he got someone to go back and find it. They couldn't find it, and then eventually it was recovered, and they found the notes and put the whole thing together. So,
okay.
But I searched up Google on how does the film differ from the novel, and according to someone on Reddit, he says, and I quote, "I have read it, and I'll say this: it's exhausting. The movie, while tough to watch, is nowhere even compared to the novel. The novel goes into such detail that the visions conjured by the mind can be far worse than what is actually seen in the movie. For example, the book near the beginning talks about how one of the 4 libertines, asshole, is caked in shit. The novel also really plays into the pedophilia aspect as who is kidnapped is from 12 to 15.
Dang.
So yeah, novel worse than this, which I don't understand why. I don't understand why this was made like in any forms of media.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah. Is there anything else you want to bring up?
I don't know. Like, I've watched it. I don't think there's ever a need to watch it again.
Oh, dude, there's no chance I'd ever watch it. Even if I was given this movie for free, I'd probably just throw it in the bin.
I didn't understand the ending.
Neither did I. Okay, so yeah, the
I
two
didn't
boys...
understand what the message was. It felt like all these awful... Like, there was no, like, comeuppance for the fascists. There was no, like... justice for the victims. There was no, like... I just didn't understand it. It just felt like they got to do all these horrible things and then they killed them and then that's it. And they win?
Yep. Yeah, but did they kill all of them? Or just some? Just the ones that disobeyed the rules? Because I didn't understand the blue ribbon that some of them were given. That's...
Yeah. I'm reading the wiki. And... Yeah, it, some of them were... Maybe some of them weren't.
Because the way that I got it is that this is a thing that happens, like, probably every year or so, right? And these old women telling the stories is, like, their stories from what happened when they were young, doing this stuff. And that it's kind of like a coming of age thing for this country. I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm correct, but that's the way I got it. And then, if you disobey the rules, you are punished.
Got it.
Meaning tortured and put to death.
No, yeah, you nailed it. Those who are called are given a blue ribbon and sentenced to a painful death, while those who have not been called, as long as they kept collaborating with the libertines, can hope to return home.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So I guess, like, I don't know. I still can't really piece together what this fucking movie's about. It's like, yes, I mean, essentially it's just fascism bad, right?
Yeah, pretty much. That's the whole thing I took from this movie. But once again, I don't need to watch this in movie form. Like everyone knows this.
Like,
everyone knows that the rich
rules, you die. If you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you saying? Everyone knows that if you disobey the rich, what?
What? Sorry, what was that?
What are you saying about the rich?
Oh, the rich are powerful and they shit on the poor, on the underprivileged. That's basically what I took from this movie.
Pretty much. They do whatever they want. A small handful of people can do whatever they want.
Exactly.
Because they are rich and powerful and awful.
Mm-hmm. And they can make us eat our shit. The one thing, like... So there was a scene in this movie where after this guy makes this girl eat his shit.
Yes.
And then the next scene, they're all at, like, this big dinner, like, the dinner hall.
Big shit dinner.
And, yeah, and there's, like, platters of, like, human shit coming around. And everyone's eating it, even the fucking fascists.
I don't understand.
Why are they eating shit?
I guess because they're into it?
Okay, who's into eating shit, though?
Them?
Is the shit a metaphor for something else? Like,
do you think maybe that the, like, what were they called? The libertines?
Yeah.
Also had to do this stuff?
I guess so. Maybe that's why they're into
so
getting
maybe
fucked in the
that's why
arse.
they're all fucked up and...
Yeah, because they all fuck each other, too. That's the weird part.
I don't know, man.
It's just a weird movie. Like that scene where the president, where he's like, they're showing his ass to everyone, and then he just goes, "Oh, fuck me in the ass too."
Yeah.
Like, what am I
I don't
watching?
know.
Like, I've got nothing against people who want to be fucked in the ass, but
Yeah.
I don't understand this whole movie, really. Yeah, dude. I'm giving this a 2 out of 10. I fucking hated this movie. I'll never ever watch it again. It's not for me. I don't care about anything in this movie. It's disgusting. I don't want to watch this thing. So,
I'm giving this a 5.
holy shit, why?
I don't know. It's just middle of the road. Like, it's got some, like, cool, shocking-y torture porn stuff. But ultimately, it's kind of boring.
Yeah, so I'm shocked as to why you're giving it a 5.
Yeah. It's just meh to me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Like-
this is like, we just spoke about Godzilla -1, where I couldn't find a flaw.
Like,
from the movie.
I liked all the carnage, but, like, most of it just felt preachy and weird. And,
Yeah.
like, they were trying to get me to eat shit.
Maybe that's the message of the movie. Maybe
but
that's
yeah.
the whole thing. Like, we're going to show you so much shit and you'll be desensitized at the end.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm happy with a 5.
Yeah. Okay. Well, some trivia here. So the excrement, the human shit in the scenes, was a mixture of chocolate and orange marmalade and some other clashing ingredients. The disgusted reactions were real. 'Cause apparently these ingredients didn't go well together.
I mean, better than
there you
shit.
Yeah, true. The notorious scene where a young woman is forced to eat poo was intended by the director as a metaphor for consumer capitalism and the rise of the junk food culture. Okay, so that's all right. Cool. Okay. And the last bit of trivia is, in 1994, an undercover police officer in Cincinnati, Ohio, rented the film from a local gay bookstore, then later arrested the owner for pandering. A large group of scholars and artists, including Martin Scorsese and Alec Baldwin, signed a legal brief arguing the film's artistic merit. The court dismissed the case because the police violated the owner's Fourth Amendment rights without addressing the question of whether the film was obscene.
Kind of obscene.
Yeah. So there you go. There you go. Alright. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with our next movie, a Serbian film.
Okay, so pregnant lady. Good. I guess she's in labor. There's the guy. So is this going to be some weird form of pregnancy porn? Oh, so she's giving birth. I guess it'll be... He'll do her after the baby's born? Okay. Yep. Okay, baby's born. Now go back to the mother. Right? No. No. No, 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 no.
I never thought that I'd be saying these words, but here we are, speaking about a Serbian film. This was a movie that I never thought we'd review here on this podcast, because I didn't know how people were going to take it. I never really wanted to rewatch it, but here we are. I thought, fuck it. Why not just double down on gross extremist shit and do one of the worst movies ever made? Cool. Controversial, I must say. So we're speaking about a Serbian film from 2010. This is given a 5.0 out of 10 stars on IMDb. The story is: an aging porn star agrees to participate in an art film in order to make a clean break from the business, only to discover that he has been drafted into making a pedophilia and necrophilia themed snuff film. Yep, that basically sums it up. And this stars a lot of people called Surge. I know no one. I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce these names because I just don't know.
Yep.
So, a Serbian film. I've seen it before. Mushroom has it. So Mushroom's going to go first with his thoughts.
Okay.
If you would like to.
What to say? Comparatively, I think this was a better movie.
I'll agree.
It was actually a movie. It's tricky, right? Because like people don't rally behind this one like they rally behind Solo.
Oh no, this has its fans.
Oh, it does?
Oh shit, yeah. Yeah, no,
okay.
people do like this film. Some people. I listened to a podcast the other day where the host gave it a 10.
A 10? Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I'll say. I am an enjoyer of, oh, that's fucked moments. Okay?
Yeah.
And you got a little bit of that with Solo, but it was so blandly filmed.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, I couldn't really, I hate to use the word, but enjoy it.
Yes.
Because it was just like, they're eating poop again, I guess. Or, they're taking a poo bath.
Yeah.
Oh, he got branded, then I'm looking through a fucking monocle and saying, like, whatever. These ones, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of fucking hell. You know, there's like, no way. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't think just because a movie has a thing in it, it's necessarily promoting that thing.
No.
Does that make sense? I want to cover that up front because, like, I actually kind of liked this movie.
Okay.
Right? Because it's fucked. Like,
Yes.
I love seeing shit I don't normally see. I like it when the bad guys win. I like it when it's, like, something different. And this is something different at the asshole. Through the asshole. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's nasty. This is a nasty, you a naughty movie. Yeah. It just like, cause like, you could take one thing that happens in this movie, right?
Yeah.
And that could be the most hectic thing in a movie. But that happens like 8 times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so fucked. And the ending is so fucked. And just like the third act is so fucked.
Yeah.
I was just like, what is happening to this motherfucker? We spoiling it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's from 2010. If you haven't seen a Serbian film, then be prepared for spoilers.
Fucks a dude to death.
Yes. But that dude deserved it.
No, I'm not saying anything was deserved or undeserved and all that shit. Some people got some shit they deserved. Other people got some shit they had nothing to do with.
Yeah. Poor kid.
Yeah, but which one?
Yeah.
It's fucked up, right? Like, the family scene, the fucking baby, the fucking getting fucked to death, the pipe bit I wasn't expecting. It was just an extra bit of hectic.
What's the pipe bit? Sorry?
Where he's like fucking obviously like raped her with a fucking pipe. The nurse chick. And I was like, what happened? I'm like, oh, wow. I was just like, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as far as like exhilarating, yeah. Like, this had it. Like, I'm not saying it's great. I think you can get thrills without doing some of the things that, You know what I mean? This movie did.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of you shouldn't really do this and that, but it's done. You know what I mean? They made this movie.
They did, yeah.
Like, they made some choices. Some choices I agree with. Some choices I fucking definitely don't agree with. But I think that's the point. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it because it's all fucked.
Yeah.
And he only did it because they gave him these giant needles of super horny Viagra of rage.
Yeah. While watching this movie, I was like, what drug is he given to make him as horny and violent and unconscious in his own way that he can be?
I'm assuming some sort of cocktail.
Oh, dude, there's PCP and there's fucking all.
Yeah.
There must be. There must be.
So, I thought that this was at least 70. Salo felt like an art house movie, whereas this at least felt like a fucking film.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I get you. You can kind of, in a way, lump.
I'm not saying I'm rushing out to watch this again or anything.
No, but this is somewhat an art house movie in its own
Yeah,
right, not as much.
in its own right. Whereas, like, Solo almost felt like a fucking stage play.
Yeah. No, okay, yeah, you're spot on with that.
You know what I mean? Like, it was all filmed from, like, you're looking into a big room. Mm-hmm. Like
you nailed it. You nailed it.
Whereas this felt like a movie. This is definitely art house in its own way, but yeah, like, it just... Yeah, I don't know. I'll fucking sue me. I liked it.
Dude, you dig what you dig.
Yeah, I thought it was fucking
If you
hectic.
liked it. For me, this is a movie...
I mean, it had no emotional hit for me. I was just watching it from, oh shit, that's fucked.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I wasn't like, hey, what if that was my child? I don't have any kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll end with that. What do you think, Tim?
So okay, I've seen this movie before, and the first time watching it, a lot of the scenes were spoiled for me. So the first time watching it, I was just like, this is just disgusting. I wasn't a fan. I was just like, fuck this movie. There's no point. Much like I was with Salo. I think I've seen it twice now. Oh, sorry, 3 times now. This has been the third. Coming in this third time, it's been a long time. This isn't a movie I put on every week. And now we're doing it for the show. I don't think I'll ever watch it again. I don't need to. But watching it this third time now, it wasn't as shocking for me, obviously, because I've seen the scenes, but even the newborn baby rape in this movie, I forgot that you don't see anything.
Nah, you don't.
You hear the cries, which is haunting enough. But I didn't find this as shocking as much as I did the first time, obviously. With that being said, I find this a well put together film. I think the acting's done well. I think the camera work is good, all that stuff. The story, though, it's just not for me. I don't like this movie. I don't hate this movie, but I don't like this movie. I don't care for it. I don't find any joy in this movie. And I don't understand what this movie is really about.
I have a guess, but yeah.
I've searched up people's interpretation of this movie. I've had my own interpretation of this movie, and what I've come to the conclusion is that there is 3 different reasons why this film exists and what the message of this film is. Everyone seems to have their own interpretation of this film.
Sure, hit me.
So the 3 reasons why this film is. The first one is exploration film. This is an exploration film trying to challenge the boundaries and censorship. So apparently, in Serbia, a lot of films that were being made from that country were being censored for stupid reasons, basically. So one of the things was the makers were like, well, you're going to censor it anyway, so fuck it. I'm going to go hardcore with this shit.
Yeah.
The second part, and this is the one that I always believed that the story was about, and this was the most popular one, was that the story is about being in Serbia and dealing with the government and being fucked from birth.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm getting from a lot of people's perspective. The third one is actually probably the most interesting one, and the story is about making art and what people will do to make art.
Yeah, that's along the lines of where I was, where it was like, does this movie do these things? Because like the whole movie, the antagonist is a filmmaker, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like, is it a movie about almost about if there's no lines, what will we get?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, or maybe like, I don't know, like it feels like maybe it is about censorship. Maybe it is about that, but in maybe like an almost positive way.
I think it's maybe a mixture of the three things altogether, but at the same time, there's a lot of things you can take from this movie, and put it in your own perspective. For example, like one of the first things we see is this child watching a porn video, and the father, who is the main character of this movie, seeing his son watching one of his porn movies.
Yeah,
and one of the lines was, I was watching porn when I was his age too. And I saw myself in that, because in a different light.
Yeah.
This is how I am with horror films. People will think that it's shocking that I let my kids watch horror movies, but I was watching those movies back when I was their age. So it's normal to me. But other people would be like, well, that's fucked up. You're fucked up.
That makes sense.
So I took that from it. There's other things you can take from this movie. One of the funniest things that in this movie is the brother. In this movie, the brother of the bad cop.
Oh yeah.
Where he's getting a blowjob and watching fucking his nephew's birthday party videos, home videos.
Yep.
And the dialogue on the video is blow harder, and this girl's giving him a blowjob. I'm like, that's funny.
But then he switches over to his brother's porn.
Yeah, and that's actually another. You just reminded me. That's another thing that someone thought this movie was about. Is about jealousy.
Yeah.
Like this brother's jealous of his brother.
Yeah. I don't know.
So,
I thought there was a lot of things going on. Like it's shocking it's shocking, but like, I think there's stuff to chew on here.
Yeah. Well, apparently the director, I just realised that I wrote trivia here. The director states of his film, it's a struggle against all corrupt authority that govern over our lives for their purpose. The powers of leader who hypnotise you to do things you don't want to do. So, that's kind of his interpretation.
More fascism bad.
Exactly. And I feel like all these controversial movies are just about that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, eh. But let's talk about the controversial parts.
Sure.
So, the biggest thing that this movie's known for is newborn porn. They want to make they want to make a new style of porn, which is literally watching a woman give birth and then immediately pulling your dick out and fucking a newborn.
Yeah.
Which, you know what the sickest part of that part was for me? It wasn't the baby getting drilled. It was the mother's reaction.
I shizzle into it.
At first, she was like, kind of like shocked and like, what the fuck are you doing? And then, yeah, she was into it. I'm like, that messed me up more.
Yeah.
Because this kid's just come into the world, and the one person that this kid has is letting him
already
be fucked.
Like betraying them.
Yep. I'm like, that kind of scarred me the most.
Yep.
So, the newborn baby scene, while it is shocking, you don't see anything.
No.
And for good reason.
Yeah, like
Because
I don't want them to make a model dick and a model fucking newborn baby and do the whole thing. I'm okay.
yeah, no, definitely. Speaking about model dicks,
Yes.
the main character's name, what's his name? Milo? or something?
Milos?
Yes. Was that his real dick?
I don't know.
I was looking hard.
I was
And if
I was
that-
looking in hard too. And
If that's his real dick, well done.
I'm assuming
Jesus.
he tucked and it's a prosthetic.
Dude, that dick is
He's a
massive.
big boy. No wonder.
Like-
no wonder he was so famous.
Yeah. Yeah, like, it's believable that a dick could be that big, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, not my dick.
No, neither. And just think, and this is going to be the fucking worst thing I say out of my mouth,
Go on.
that huge fucking dick is in the arse of his 7-year-old son.
He did struggle.
Oh, fuck, man. That was probably the next shocking scene of this movie.
Because it was like a double reveal where it was like, oh, it's his brother. I'm like, who's he fucking? Oh, he's fucking his wife. Oh, who's he fucking? Oh, he's fucking. Because I thought it maybe I knew it was going to be the kid too because I knew it happens. But like, there's a bit where you're like, oh, maybe it's like not
Yeah. Yeah.
hoping.
You're hoping, and then, yeah.
No, it is.
Yeah. And that scene, like, where they're both fucking them from behind,
Yo.
is kind of like the most notorious scene of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, makes sense.
Does it? Does it? Oh, man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, there's like 8 things where you're just like, ah.
Yeah, yeah. One question I had, and maybe this is just a comment on Serbia as a whole, but this character, they keep saying you're the best porn star and all that stuff. If he's the best, why is he so poor?
I don't know, because he's a male porn star. They don't get a lot of money.
Don't they?
Males don't, no.
I don't know, ask Johnny Sins. I'm sure he's fucking loaded.
Look, I'm sure there have been some rich male porn stars, but compared to females.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. This was just... I don't know. I found this just not a movie that I care for. This is a movie that every time I bring up, my wife fucking destroys me for. So like, I don't even know why we fucking have it in our house. It's disgusting. I'll never sit through it.
Did she?
No. Fuck no. She would never sit through this movie. I wouldn't even attempt to try and make her.
Yeah, I think that's a smart decision.
Yeah.
That way you keep having a wife.
So, another thing that I think is a flaw in this movie, and a bit of a goof, is right at the end, after the whole rape and everything like that, the family are laying in bed, and he shoots all 3 of them.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to think, right?
Yeah. I don't buy that. I don't think that little gun is going to penetrate all 3 of those people.
I'm kind of with you. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a weird angle. I feel like the kid's gonna get shot, but
Yeah.
I don't know if one bullet's gonna do it. I think they're gonna be
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah. Like, especially, like, okay, perfectly, I don't know anything about guns, so I could be 100% incorrect on this, but I don't think that bullet's going to go through the first person, even enough to hit the second person, and if it did, I don't think one bullet is going to be enough to kill everyone.
Yeah, like if I was gonna Benoit this thing up, I'd be like,
Jesus Christ.
kid, wife, me. You know what I mean? Like, just buy the extra 2 bullets.
Yeah.
You know?
And look,
Let's do it properly. Let's not have this, like, identical hole through all of it. Even if
Yeah.
it gets through. Like, you've seen when they, like, shoot through ballistics gel. It doesn't always get through everything.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't believe it's going to penetrate all 3 of these people.
Yeah, exactly. Unlike the dad. But
You're fucked.
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Wait,
Here's the thing.
there was an opening.
If this did happen, right? Okay, let's say,
Sure. Which bit?
all right, like right at the end, like when
Sure.
they all face the facts and this happened.
Yeah.
Is it enough to kill yourself?
Like to atone?
Yeah.
Nah.
Like honestly, is there anything that bad that can happen to you that you think, I can't live my life anymore, I might as well kill myself?
I don't know. That's a pretty hectic thing to happen.
Yeah, sure it is, but to take your own life because of it, like the son was shook up. He was fucked up. And he probably will be
Literally.
for the rest of his life. But is it enough to take your life? I don't know.
I don't know.
I just don't agree with suicide
That's fair enough.
in any way, shape, or form. Like, I don't know. My wife has had suicide happen in her family, and she'll say it straight. She finds that person to be gutless.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, and I do too. Like, I don't think there's anything that could happen in life that it's that bad that you should take your own life for. That's just my opinion. Suicide bad.
I mean, controversial stance of suicide bad aside, I don't think it's quite so simple. It's usually just this, like, depression's complicated and affects everything differently. Usually what suicide is the brain just trying to kill itself. That's how I think of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes it's like, it's not even about what's happened. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, man, sometimes the voices win.
Yeah, but sometimes the voices can be reasoned with. There are people out there that can help you.
Sometimes they can't.
Okay. I mean, this is coming from someone who doesn't suffer from depression, so what the fuck do I know?
Like, it's hard. Like, it's hard. So, like,
all I'm trying to say is that, like, I'm here if you want to talk.
yeah.
We're two fucking weird guys from Australia talking about a fucked up horror movie, but we do have ears.
Yeah.
I don't know. When that thing happened, I'm like, this poor little kid. That was my main concern. This poor little kid has had this happen to him, and then
And
he
now he's
doesn't get
dead.
a choice. Yeah, he doesn't get a choice whether he wants to live. Like, he's just fallen asleep by his mum's side,
Yeah.
and they've just decided for him, oh no, you got to die now.
No, I think,
Like-
I think you're right.
Which is crazy because that was kind of one of the parts in this movie that
You
got to
didn't-
me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kid stuff, yeah. Me and kid stuff it's tender.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, look. Is there anything else to say about this movie?
Score?
You go first, because I'm still on the fence.
Look, I'm giving it a 7. A 7 minus. Just because, yes, I do like the fucked upness of it, but I do feel like it's sometimes a little much. You know what I mean?
That's fair. That's fair.
It's a bit much. Like,
Yep.
it was trying to be controversial to be controversial.
A little bit. Yeah.
But, yeah.
For me, look, I can't go anywhere past a 5. So I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. I think it's a well put together movie, but the story does nothing for me. I don't like this movie. It's not a movie I watch, and I probably won't ever watch again. I don't need to. I know what happens. If someone says, have you seen it? I'll be like, yep. You don't need to watch it either. Mm-hmm. I know it has its fans, but I'm not one of them.
Sure.
I don't care. I don't care for this subject matter, so That's that. We do have a game though. When I say game, I mean like the old verses
Okay.
on which movie is more extreme. And it's only three questions.
Okay.
Okay? So, let's do it. Question number 1, which film is better overall?
Serbian.
I agree. I think I know who's going to win. Question number 2, which film do you prefer?
Serbian.
I agree. And question number 3, which film is more extreme?
That's tricky because it's like more fucked up things happen to this one small couple people,
Yes.
whereas Solo feels like a bigger group of a lot more things.
True.
Repeatedly.
But I think what happens in Serbian film is more extreme than people eating shit.
I mean, they get raped a lot.
They do, but I'm coming at it from a perspective of the viewer.
I'm gonna give a point to Solo.
Okay. All right. Well, there we have it. We've got 5 for Serbian film and 1 for Solo. So, in our opinion, a Serbian film is the more controversial and extreme film. There you have it. Glad we're fucking done with this subject.
I don't know if you remember, but I had homework.
I know. We're getting to that.
Okay, sorry.
Alright, so let's clear our palette of controversial movies and move over to something different. Just before we finish, we have horror homework.
If you did your homework, then say I did my homework. I did my homework. I did my homework. And if you did your homework, then say I did my homework. I did my homework. I did my homework. I wanna do a good job.
Alright, Mushroom, horror homework. Your movie was Fade to Black from 1980. I knew it was happening.
Yeah.
Alright, what's your thoughts on this movie?
This is fun. This was a nice little fucking palate cleanser after I watched those fucking films. It was just a weird little 1930s. Oh, sorry. Should I do the whole spiel?
Oh, if you want people to know what this movie is. We talked about this on Devour the 80s, so...
Okay, well, if you watch that, you don't need this, but for those that aren't Patreon subscribers, and you should be, and you bloody...
Patreon, that's free.
Oh, well, for those that aren't Patreon subscribers, you should be. But you might have listened to this already, but I'll go over it real quick. A shy, lonely film buff embarks on a killing spree against those who browbeat and betray him, all the while stalking his idol, a Marilyn Monroe lookalike from Australia.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know. I had fun with it. It's kind of a goofy little movie. He fucking it just kind of gets shit on. He's just this unabashedly weird dude.
Yeah.
Who just slowly starts losing his fucking mind. But I just kind of felt bad for the kid the whole movie, you know?
So did I, yeah.
He didn't deserve what got coming. I liked that they spliced in the clips, so it felt like a Family Guy episode. I probably would have liked it more if I knew all the movies he was referencing and stuff like that, but whatever. But yeah, I had fun with it. It was a goofy little, such an 80s movie. That was just kind of a fun popcorn flick after seeing so many rapes.
Yeah. I getcha. I really like this movie, man. I really did. He portrays various... He's like us. He's a massive film fan who portrays different film characters to get revenge on people. And by the end of the movie, I had this sense of emotion because you felt bad for him.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the best movies from 1980, in my opinion. As where...
I might have to agree. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a good time.
Nice, yes. I think I gave it a 9 out of 10, so I really like this movie.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's just kind of something that any kind of horror fan can dig with. Just let us watch fucking movies, please. Just leave us alone. Otherwise, I'm gonna fucking push you down some fucking stairs, bitch.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yep. So go and check out Fade to Black from 1980. I think that's three
Also,
people
like,
now.
The bit where he's just like, I'm just here for an autograph.
Yeah. Yeah, the psycho scene.
Yeah, the inks running down the jail. I'm like, classic, so good. I'm like, is he gonna kill her? He's like, just wanted to, because he thinks she's the real Marilyn Monroe, right? By the end of the movie,
I think so. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, not to spoil too much.
All right. Well, your homework for next time is another movie from 1980, and that is called The Children.
Ugh, I hate children.
All right. Well, hope you enjoy the movie then.
I've seen enough things happen to children.
Actually, I think this is a movie about children doing things to adults.
Finally, the kids get to fuck the adults.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. All right, so that does it for this episode of the Dummies of Horror. Next week, we need a fucking palate cleanse. We need something lighthearted and stupid and fun. So, me and the Mushroom put our heads together and we decided, fuck it. Let's do the entire Scary Movie franchise.
Take my strong hand.
All 5 films, we're going to be talking about that. I'm actually excited about this.
We're going to start good and we're going to get progressively worse if my memory serves.
I know, but still, I think I'm going to enjoy it more.
Let's do it.
What we did this week.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But Heather Powell...
Instead of watching other people get tortured, let's slowly torture ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Heather Powell, you bitch. Thank you for making us watch these movies. You know we love you. I'm not a fan of you right now because of what you made me do this week.
We're traumatized.
But, hey, have fun over in Europe. No eating poo. Anyone out there?
You can tell her that she's going to do it. You try stopping her.
But if you want more of us, we are on Patreon. Go over to patreon.com/Dummies of Horror. We have over 350 episodes on Patreon that you can listen to. Fun, dumb shit that we like to do.
You need like a couple months to kill. We'll get it sorted.
Definitely. It's good times over there. It's good times. We are going to be doing Schwarzenegger for Dummies later on this month. So
Hells yeah.
That's our next one. We'll be doing it. Yep. But until next time, guys, thank you once again, and we'll catch you on the next episode of the Dummies of Horror.
Hey, just PSA. Don't fuck babies.
Did you have to? I guess I'll end it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Dip!
Chosen by the elders to kill. One chosen by the elders to die. Summoned for sacrifice. Taken to a dungeon where others have perished before him. Enveloped in fear and silence. Arms and legs are shackled. Awaking in the dark and cold, the time has now arrived. Dissected and exterminated. Torches and the starts to glow. 26 months getting out to pray. One by one they will mutilate him. When lies in him they'll take their turn. Removing pieces of his body remain to sabotage breathe no more. It was in a